Alright, let's go behind this wall again. Everybody, take a look at this wall. There's actually a hidden passage behind it. A hidden passage? We've never noticed it up till now because it's warded with an illusion spell. Observe. Boo? Whoa. Shira just went through the wall. Follow her. There's the evil rats. You're right. We can just walk through it, just like that. There's a short corridor here. There's just one problem with it. It doesn't look like the door will budge. It's pretty solid and has a padlock on it. So we might have a hard time breaking through. Unless our friendly giant Apris can surprise us.
Those nicknames of yours are just annoying.
Wait, a padlock? Yeah, and I sure as hell didn't see any keys laying around anywhere. Did any of you?
I could try opening it.
Oh?
I'll just need some kind of wire. A strong one, preferably. Something like a hairpin would do.
Do any of us have a hairpin on them? Damn, I knew I should have left the ribbons at home. Wherever home is, anyway. Anyone carrying sharp, dangerous objects on their person, confess. Yvonne! Huh? Come on, you need to have something. Why would I? I don't have any hairpins, I think. Lame! Mariko! I bet there are some knives in those pouches of yours.
Yeah, Shira. 1,000 of them, in fact. All sharp and pointy, ready for backstabbing.
Seriously, though, what are you carrying in those?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Tease. Apris!
You're being annoying. Just shut up.
Aha! You're hiding something. Admit it.
Move aside.
Got my muscles.
It's no use.
Damn.
I suppose it's time to split up and look for a wire instead of a stone.
Wait. My claw ring is made out of some kind of metal and it's pretty pointy at the end. Would it work?
It might be too thick regardless, but I could give it a try.
It's not like I'll care if you break it.
Let me just... What's wrong?
I can't seem to get it off.
Really? Is it stuck?
Ah, Miss Mariko, would you mind if I took a look at it?
Be my guest?
I'm not sure why, but it seems to be infused with some kind of spell. I can feel an odd aura emanating from it. You're able to tell such a thing? That means you're not? Perhaps I'm simply more sensitive to such things? When I close my eyes and concentrate...
What's wrong?
It's nothing. I thought I felt something, but it's gone now.
What are you blabbering about, child?
I wonder if Yvonne will let us know what it was she felt. Was it Ishin? Oh no, the cat is back. Maybe it was simply Lord Mutic's aura that I felt. Hey cat, maybe you could lend us a claw and open this damn door?
Surely you jest. I'm not even talking to the likes of you.
Well, you just did. And hey, what is that supposed to mean?
Did you know that in another dimension, people who dress like you walk around the streets, staring into shiny tiles, catching imaginary monsters? Your door here is simply boring.
What?
Can we get back to the issue at hand? We're wasting our time here. I agree with Apris for a change. And you know, Mariko, if you can't take that thing off and there's a spell cast on it, it probably needs to be there for a reason. Don't force it off until you can remember what that reason might be.
I was about to say the same thing. While we're at it, I've been kind of wondering. How sharp is that claw of yours? You could probably kill somebody with that thing. Don't worry, I won't slit anybody's throat if I don't have to. Though I could poke an eye out. That was supposed to be a joke. This thing isn't even that sharp. Well, since we're out of options for now, let's go search for a wire. Wait. What is it? You know, technically I should have some metal wires inside of my corset. I might be willing to sacrifice one for the greater good.
So you've been accusing everyone of having sharp objects on themselves while you had some yourself. This makes you a hypocrite.
Hey, piss off! This was a last resort option. Like hell I'd ruin my outfit without a second thought. Besides, it's just a wire, in a piece of clothing. Who in their right mind would plan to murder anyone with that?
Even a sock can kill.
You're not helping. Oh, what am I saying? You never are. We appreciate your sacrifice, Shira. I can try pulling one out from the back. We just need something sharp to make a hole in the material. My claw could be sharp enough to do that. Oh boy. Just don't stab me while you're at it. I'll do my best. I might still need to sharpen it a little, but I think I should be able to work with this. Just give me a moment. Is now a good time to make some bets? What kind of bets? Whether we'll be stuck in this corridor for the next couple of hours, or... Unlock. Oh. Well, that was... fast. Go sure! My heroic sacrifice didn't go to waste. Now I know the fashion gods will forgive me. Phew.
So you're good at lockpicking. How many houses did you rob?
No comment. Whoa, there's a kitchen in here! Sweet! You guys think anything in here might be edible? Look, more doors. Oh boy, as if the front yard wasn't creepy enough. I already know this is going to become someone's new favorite place. There's a bridge here. And another building further out. It looks like some kind of mausoleum. Please tell me it's not a mausoleum. It's an amazing bathhouse is what it is. What kind of bathhouse scene are we going to get this time around? Gods, nice! Someone went all out on this. The water is warm. Perhaps these baths were built on an underground spring? Sweet! I'm calling dibs! I vote for eating something first.
I second that.
And we never did come back here last time. I mean, we came here during the scene, but we never came back to it. And this is some kind of aisle? Those stone benches don't look very comfortable, do they? The other end of the barrier is also visible here. Boy, this place is creepy. Kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Why'd you stop?
Yvonne, is something wrong? Don't you guys smell that? Smell what? The plants? The moldy ground? I don't smell anything out of the ordinary either. Maybe it's just my imagination then. What do you smell? I can't quite put it into words. It's a really foul kind of smell. Yep, that must be the mold. I suppose. Come on, let's blow this joint and storm the kitchen. Maybe we'll find out what that smell was, too. So many things to find out. Surprisingly, there's actually a fair amount of food stuffed into these shelves. That's almost too good to be true. Let's hope all of it isn't over 100 years old.
If you think that's a lot, take a look at this. There's some kind of cold storage in here.
Sweet.
I believe the whole room has been infused with elemental magic.
Way too good to be true. Is that meat I see?
There are a lot of other things in here, too.
Is there also fish by any chance? How about some veggies?
Just look around and take your pick.
Apris, is there anything you'd like to eat? The stove, though. You've been staring at that stove for a while.
I can do the cooking, if you'll have me.
You? The cooking?
It feels familiar.
Did someone just confess to being a chef? This is way too good to be true, I tell you.
Just let me know what you'd like to eat and I'll see what I can do.
Hey, do you see that? It's the first time he smiled, isn't it? And the spell is broken. It was nice while it lasted.
I'll try anything as long as it's good. I'll let you surprise me. What about you?
Me? Yvonne wants fish, so I shall have some fish too, please. Fish and chips if you have it. Something with fish sounds good. Are you also a fan of fish, Miss Mariko? For you I am, girl. Hey, hey. That smells so nice. I'm impressed. Who would have thought that a guy like you would know his way around the kitchen?
You probably call it useful. I call it survival skills. It's something most of you clearly lack.
Let this be a lesson to all of us. We shouldn't judge others by their outward appearance. Indeed. What does that say about you, Yvonne? About me? Is there something wrong with the way I look? Well, you seem... Hell, I don't even know how to answer that question. In a good or a bad way. Let's just say that I'd never guess you'd be such a sugarcane from the way you dress. Sugarcane? Wait, is my outfit too revealing for you? You're also wearing a collar. But hey, don't you start feeling self-conscious on me now. I was just making an observation. I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable or anything. Don't let this bother you, Yvonne. I believe Shira's taste in clothes is the odd one among us. Well, thanks. Though I won't argue with that one. I'll just take it as a compliment. Personally, I really like the way you dress. The same goes for Mariko. Not too revealing for you? No. It shows that you're confident with yourself. So what? Am I supposed to be insecure now? And hey, I didn't say I don't like the way both of you dress, just so it's clear. That couldn't be more of a misunderstanding. I can appreciate a good-looking figure when I see one. I just didn't expect Yvonne to be such a kind-hearted person when I first saw her, that's all.
It's so amusing, listening in on girl talk in broad daylight. Don't you think so, Apris? It's clearly dark outside. Well, yeah, I was just... You know what? Forget I said anything. Done.
Poor Mariko.
The food is almost ready. Prepare the table if you could.
Hey, it's that picture again. Hey, sure, pass me the salt, would you? You haven't even touched your meal yet. I like to be prepared for potential disasters. I don't think you have to worry about that. The stuff is great. Oh dear. Mr. Apris, this is so yummy. Ah, it really is good. I was trying to figure out what Shira was doing to Yvonne. I just realized she's like poking at her collar. Goodness gracious. You ever heard about personal space, Shira? Dear oh dear.
Well, I'll be. This is one hell of a surprise, all right. Compliments to the chef. Hope you enjoy, then.
You didn't poison the food, did you, Apris?
Nobody's forcing you to eat it. If you don't trust me, make your own meal.
Now I can't help but wonder, where did you learn to cook like this?
Maybe I didn't have anyone that could do it for me. I imagine I just took matters into my own hands.
Holy shit! This stuff! It's melting in my mouth! Apris, my respect for you has just gone through the roof.
Is that how it works?
Well, unless the food is poisoned, then we're going to have a different kind of conversation.
Why would I want to poison any of you?
You tell me. You kind of give off the impression as if just listening to us annoys you, so...
If I'm being unpleasant, I apologize. It's not my intention. I haven't been feeling well.
What do you mean? Do you have a fever? Does it hurt anywhere?
No, it's neither. I'm restless and I have this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Well then, maybe your clear lack of sleep is at fault with that.
Perhaps.
If you need to rest, please tell us. That should apply to all of us. If there's something wrong with anybody, please don't hide it. We won't be able to help if we don't know there's a problem to begin with. While I agree with the thought, I imagine something like that might be a problem. A problem? We're still mostly strangers to one another. Admitting to having some kind of weakness can be a gamble. I'm not even surprised that Apris kept quiet about it all this time. Well, whatever the case may be, I sincerely doubt any of you could be worse off than I am, and nobody used that to their advantage yet, so... Sure, you really are hurt, aren't you? Excuse me? It just occurred to me that neither of us actually saw that wound of yours. Well, except Mariko, which is shady on its own. Wouldn't it be better to have another girl check up on you? You think I'm lying about being wounded? Hey, easy. It was just a thought, so I wanted to make sure.
I assure you that wound is real. Why would Cher lie about it?
I don't know, to play the victim. It's easier to trust someone who looks weak and helpless, don't you think?
Does she look weak and helpless to you?
Okay, I'm sorry. Put that fork down.
You're really looking too much into everything, Shira.
What if Miss Shira is actually a detective in disguise? Or did someone just read too many novels? Hey, it's not my fault I'm getting these kind of ideas. Blame my brain.
Do you fantasize about such things often?
Define such things.
A great mystery to unravel. Nothing is what it seems. Contradictions lie at every corner. People deceive, just waiting for the right moment to strike. Is that what you wish was happening here?
For the record, you saying all that makes it especially creepy. Cut it out. Or, what if the truth isn't actually that complicated? Maybe nobody is actually lying about anything, and everything is exactly what it seems. Crazy, I know. Impossible. I wouldn't believe for a second that Mariko doesn't remember anything.
Well, I do remember some things, but most of them won't really help us with anything.
Things like what?
Things like how to conjure up fire, for instance. Here.
Behold. Mariko just made a flame appear out of nowhere. Wow, you're a human torch. That's pretty cool.
And useless.
Still kind of cool, though. Well, if the mansion goes up in flames, now we'll know who's behind it. And that's why he didn't say anything. Thank you for the food. It was delicious.
You're welcome.
So, who's doing the dishes?
The one who's asking.
Very funny. Not your maid. I wouldn't mind doing them. It's the least I could do for such a wonderful meal. No, Yvonne. Girl, you sit down. Now you're making me feel bad. Come on, I'll help you. You're wounded. You shouldn't be exerting yourself either. I can handle something so small as doing the dishes, thanks. Damn you guys! Give me those! Oh, Shira. You're so sweet. Miss Shira can be so cute sometimes. She's just too easy to provoke. Well, while Miss Shira is doing the dishes, would anyone like some tea or coffee?
I'd appreciate some coffee. Likewise.
I'd like some tea, please. And tea for me, too. Oh, sorry. That was the wrong voice. And tea for me, too, I mean. The green kind, if there is any. Got it. What about you, Miss Mariko? Tea. Tea sounds good. Coming right up. The drinks will actually be a good addition. There's something I wanted all of us to talk about before we get up and leave. Oh? Go on. Let's establish storylines, shall we? Alright, so... Shira was the last person we found in the mansion, so everybody was already there when it happened. But I'd like to know which of us woke up first, and who did they find and where? Oh.
What's the point of that?
The point is to establish if everyone is telling the truth, Apris. I actually agree. I'd like to know what everyone has to say to that as well. Mariko, you found me down in the basement, and you told me there were other people in the mansion, so I couldn't have been your first find.
I believe I was the first conscious person, yes.
Where did you wake up?
In the front yard. I was cold when I woke up. After noticing the barrier, I went inside of the mansion. The first people I stumbled upon were Yvonne and Apris. They were both unconscious in the library.
That's right. Mr. Mariko shook me awake. We got to talk for a short moment, and he told me to try and wake up Mr. Apris. Then he left.
That's when I went down into the basement.
I talked with Mr. Apris about how he couldn't remember anything.
I can confirm that.
I think a couple of minutes passed before Miss Shira walked into the library on her own.
Yep, you two were also the first people I saw. Not long after that, Mariko came running back to us. He said that he's found another person, but they've passed out on him. That's when you got carried upstairs. After that, Mariko left for the basement again, and Apris went to investigate the barrier. Yvonne and I stayed with you in the hall, and you already know the rest since you woke up next to us.
All right.
I would like to point out that there is one thing in our confessions that puzzles me, though.
Yes?
I also woke up in the front yard.
You did?
And I saw no Mariko anywhere, meaning that you had to wake up and leave before I did, right? You never mentioned seeing me there.
Because I didn't.
Are you sure about that? I believe it would be hard to miss a heap of white and pink sprawled on the ground, especially when I woke up laying pretty close to the fountain. I definitely wasn't far away behind one of those spooky trees. Are you sure you didn't outright ignore me for whatever reasons you might have had?
I assure you, I woke up in the front yard all by myself. If you're accusing me of lying, do you have any proof that you're not the one who's lying? Maybe you actually woke up first and ignored me on purpose.
These two.
Okay, you two, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. If you don't stop, I will poke someone's eye out. Well, that got a reaction.
You people. How about we go out into the courtyard and try to retrace our steps? Because this is getting us nowhere. You should spend your energy on something more productive than this.
Let's bathe instead. Alright, that's not for a little while. We're gonna retrace the steps first.
Here. I woke up more or less here.
I can't tell you the exact spot myself. I was a little out of sorts and I don't remember many details.
Suspicious?
This is just a thought, but all of us were really disoriented when we first woke up, weren't we? Could it be possible that either Miss Shira or Mr. Mariko didn't wake up in the front yard like they think, but in the backyard instead, without even realizing it?
Whoa, wait.
An interesting observation, Yvonne. However, there might be a contradiction in that theory.
The locked door.
Exactly. The hidden wall isn't that much of an issue since it is visible from one side only. The illusion doesn't show a wall from the kitchen side. It looks like a normal corridor from there. Meaning that either Mariko or Shira could have passed it without even noticing it. However, the locked door is another issue. Unless the door was initially open. In theory, someone might have had a key in their possession and locked the door behind them, right afterwards or even later on. They could have locked the door without a key as well. Also a good observation. You know what she's trying to get at, right? If we were to stick to the theory that there is actually not one but two culprits, you would be the first suspect on the list. What? Don't give me that look. You were the one who managed to open the lock in a few seconds flat. Locking it should have been as much of a breeze for you. So following that particular train of thought, you're either in conspiracy with Mariko or with me.
And who the hell said she couldn't be in conspiracy with the both of you? Didn't you two stick together when we investigated the mansion at the beginning? I knew something seemed weird about the way you two looked at each other.
What the heck are you on about? Mr. Apris, I believe you might be misinterpreting some signs. If you're talking about the time when he was trying to hit on me, I had no part in it.
What? I wasn't hitting on you.
Oh, sure you weren't. Do you think I'm deaf and blind?
You're being delusional.
Dear, oh dear.
Forget I even brought it up.
Shit, did I go too far? You should follow him, Miss Shira. Yeah. As long as you'll get your mind out of the gutter. Huh? Don't even deny it. Well, that was... That was alright. There's that blood in the grass. So, that was stupid of me. Kinda. You know? And stuff. So what I want to say is...
There's blood here.
I'm sorry? What?
I said there's blood here. Look. Part of it seems to have sunk into the ground, but there's some of it on the grass.
Holy shit! No kidding! Blood? Oh dear. Did someone get hurt here? Is it fresh?
It doesn't seem to be too old. It still smears when I touch it.
Ew. Apris, you walked around here a lot, didn't you? And you never noticed it?
I'm surprised this guy even did. It's dark out here. That change in color is barely visible.
Okay, I kinda see your point. Could it be... Shear's blood? Didn't you find me down in the basement, though? Yeah, that wouldn't make much sense, would it? Maybe someone simply died here before we even got here? I really hope nobody else is dying somewhere in this mansion while we stand around debating about the weather.
Yeah, let's hope that isn't the case. As for earlier, I'm surprised you even worry about such trivial things.
Hey, hurting someone's feelings isn't something trivial.
Do you really believe something like that could have hurt my feelings?
So, we're cool?
I'd appreciate if you trusted me a tiny bit more, but I suppose.
How am I supposed to trust you when you're the shadiest character out of all of us?
It really breaks my heart that you see me that way, Shira.
I can see that. You're so heartbroken you'd make devils cry. Well, at least we're cool again. Wait. Something just occurred to me. Yes. Mariko?
What is it?
Back in the kitchen, you said that you saw the barrier when you woke up. But you didn't get close to it, did you? How did you know that we were trapped in here, then?
That's the first logical thing to assume, you know. And I could stick to that excuse, but the truth is, I'm actually familiar with what kind of barrier this is.
Why didn't you mention that earlier? See what I mean when I say you're shady? You seem to know way too many things compared to us.
It's not like I can do anything about that, can I? I kept quiet about it because I didn't want to worry you.
Worry us?
Excuse me.
I already hate wherever this is going.
I'm pretty sure I saw such a barrier at least once in my life before. But from the outside.
Go on.
From my perspective, the barrier was up for around 10 minutes. For the person inside of it, almost a whole year had passed.
A whole year? Wait, that's crazy. You want to tell us? The time flows differently in here compared to outside of the bubble. So in a sense, the rest of the world waits for us while we're in here. That would certainly explain why it's constantly nighttime. Wait, you're right. How much time did we spend in here by now? The scenery didn't change at all. Hey, that's actually kind of cool when you think about it. Imagine wanting to master a spell, or a work of art. You could work on it for a whole year in here, but it would only take you a couple of minutes in reality. Other people would die of envy.
Don't forget that you'd also leave the barrier being a year older than everyone else, though.
Oh, right. So if I stayed here for 50 years, I'd get it all wrinkled and stuff.
You wouldn't, actually.
We wouldn't?
Remember how I said I didn't want to worry you? A person has a limit for how long they can stay inside of a barrier such as this. And while a single person can stay inside of it for a whole year, I'm not sure if it works the same way when there are more people inside of it at the same time. It might actually be less than that.
Less, not more.
Imagine every single one of us having a specific mana pool tied to our very being. The barrier uses that mana pool to keep itself sustained. With more people, more energy is needed, so the mana drains faster. And that mana pool, as far as I'm aware, it's impossible to replenish it. Once you've spent your time inside of such a barrier until you've reached your limit, that's it. If you decide to stay or go inside of one of these ever again from that point on, you're in big trouble.
Big trouble meaning?
Well, eventually you start freezing in time yourself. You could say the barrier starts absorbing you instead of your mana pool. You become a part of the barrier and then disappear along with it when it dissolves.
You disappear when it dissolves. If that's true, Mariko could not have been absorbed by the barrier. He disappeared, but the barrier was still up. Same thing with Yvonne. Still don't really have any questions. I have questions. I still don't have any answers, do I?
Essentially, you die.
Oh no.
How do we get out? That's the tricky part. Because I have no idea.
You have no idea? After all you've told us just now?
I told you I didn't want to worry you. What was I supposed to say? Hey, better find a way out of here quick, otherwise we're all going to die.
Please don't fight. Yes, calm down, you two. You're forgetting that we do have a lead. As shady as that lead is. The Soul Stone. Well, this is great. Now our life depends on a stupid piece of rock. How long do we have?
Calm down.
You said that a single person can stay inside of such a barrier for a year, but that the time can be shortened when there's more. Does that mean two people would be able to stay inside of it for only half a year together?
I'm not sure if it really works that way, but that would also be my best bet.
There are 6 of us here, so even if we were to assume that we have 6 times less time than a single person, that would still make it 2 months.
Of course, this is all just a hypothesis, so...
Well, then let's hope your hypothesis is right and is not 2 days instead. Thank you for telling us about all this, Mr. Mariko.
Not that it helps much, other than putting our minds even less at ease.
But now that we know more about the barrier itself, we can try and direct our research accordingly.
You really like to hang around that library, don't you, Yvonne?
Well, it's just that there are so many books in there, and so much knowledge. It's fascinating to me. Thank you for being so thoughtful, Yvonne.
Yes, thanks for your hard work.
It's nothing. Going back to the matter at hand, I have a proposition to make. Let's search for that soul stone. If we don't manage to find it in the next hour or two, we should call it a day and try our luck again after getting some decent sleep. How about we skip the searching part altogether for the time being? Mr. Apris could probably use some rest, and I have the feeling that most of us are pushing ourselves at this point. I second that. I'm pretty tired by now, and I could really use a bath.
I'd like that as well. If that's what you guys want, I won't complain.
Considering we're supposed to have 2 months to look for it, I don't think an hour will make that much of a difference at this point either. Let's do it.